Carrier Nation in Northern British Columbia, Canada. I'm here to voice my opposition as the DACF man of the Constituency First Nation. Cancun's being proposed at BC's North Coast. Enbridge, a Canadian oil company, proposed a pipeline project, the Northern Gateway, that would stretch twin pipelines between the tar sands and Kitimat on BC's North Coast. From Kitimat, more than 225 tankers a year would carry clean oil from the Alberta tar sands to markets overseas. I'm concerned about the risks of a lot of tankers carrying clean oil cast to the pristine waters of northern BC's coast. It's time to strengthen the moratorium on tanker bans. Turn tanker bans into unofficial policy and law. The commercial fishing industry and First Nations fishing and harvest industries are dependent on the waters through which the tankers would be allowed to pass. The waters themselves are a diverse ecosystem, home to many species of seabirds, sea mammals, and many important fish, including salmon and halibut. First Nations groups have already implemented a ban based on traditional law. If the Enbridge pipeline to Kitimat and exploitation is allowed to proceed, it would create unacceptable economic and social environmental risks. The Exxon Valdez spill and recent spills in the Gulf of Mexico and Michigan are powerful reminders that safety technologies often fail. If oil tankers are allowed in BC's dangerous northern waters, it will be a matter of when, not if, when oil spill happens. Just recently, 61 First Nations in British Columbia united and opposed the Enbridge Northern Gateway pipeline project and tanker. We will not allow the proposed Enbridge Northern Gateway pipeline or a similar tar sands project to cross our lands, territories, or watersheds, the ocean migration routes of Fraser River salmon. This project's not going anywhere. Thank you.
BP Exxon, not for me! BP Exxon, let us be! BP Exxon, not for me! BP Exxon, let us be! What do we want? No tanker! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? No tanker! When do we want it? Now!
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea. I'm from Ottawa, Canada. I'm with the Council of Canadians, and I'm here to talk and be in solidarity with this message: oil and water don't mix. What we're talking about here right now is the pursuit of offshore drilling in Canada and around the world. We think this is in tension with the objective of what we have here today. What we want is to advance climate justice. What we want is to reduce emissions. Yet what we're seeing right now is the pursuit of a final frontier of oil and gas in the Arctic. 90 billion barrels of oil, 1,600 cubic trillion feet of natural gas. We can see that the corporations we know well, BP, many others, pursuing this oil and gas that ironically now is becoming available because of the effects of climate change, because transportation systems are opening up, and because ice is melting. Profit is not a reason to pursue oil and gas in the Arctic. That is unacceptable. We know what the risks of offshore drilling are. We know what will happen. We know if this gets pursued in the Arctic, the risk is that much higher. We don't have access to what we need in the Arctic to deal with this spill. There are communities that are dependent on the land. There are communities that are already suffering the impacts disproportionately of climate change, which is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the world. Why now, when we pursue oil and gas in the Arctic? We feel that this is something that should be discussed here. If we're serious about addressing the climate crisis, if we want to make a difference, we need to start talking about real solutions, like leaving it in the ground. talking about real solutions that allow for economic development in communities that isn't dependent on the exploitation of the environment. We need to start building communities that are viable.